the little white pill, everybody. Yeah, it's an awesome Friday. I'm wearing a skirt, just so you know. Yay, everybody! Woohoo!
Kimelo
Okay.
said earlier that he wants breasts. I just
Yes.
need people to know this.
I would like to have breasts
Yes.
because nice.
You
Yes.
guys don't understand how much hard work it is to have them.
Actually, the two ladies here,
Yes.
I know I've asked you this in private before,
But it's not.
but does boob sweat smell?
No, not mine.
Smells like strawberries.
I
Wait,
don't
so
have
you
much-
smelled?
Yeah, like I sweat between and a little bit under.
Okay, now that
I
it's
was curious, like obviously I like.
the thing is, now that it's really hot nowadays, like my boobs actually do sweat, and more so because they're huge. So it's like, I haven't smelt it, so I wouldn't know. I'm not that adventurous with my tatas. Like I'm not that girl.
You call them tata.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's a question.
Tatas.
Here's a question.
Tatas
A
is
serious question. If all your exes were in a jury, would you be in trouble?
No.
Well, the case would be thrown out of court because there wouldn't be enough jurors.
Okay, well done. Okay, go Roo.
I know there's one that will probably want to see the end of me. She's told me that she wants to cut me before.
That's fine.
And that she tells you this just before you're about to sleep. Like you're sleeping over things. And then yeah, that was a bad night. That was a really bad night.
Okay, let's get back to the business at hand. Please.
That's such a scary thought. I'm sorry. Like I
And
can't.
she has like a
she
packet
could
of
have gone
scalpels
to,
and
she
stuff.
could have gone to bed with a knife or scissors and actually done something.
She has I don't know if your dad has it, but something that you open and then it's sterilized scalpels
Yes,
and
she
razors
does,
and everything. She has that.
For what?
I don't know.
Hey, what did you
Maybe
do?
she just wants to cut your hair.
Like
Bruh.
what Samson vibes.
What if she's into cutting, like sexual
She didn't
cutting?
actually mean I want to cut you, like cut
She did.
you.
Maybe you
Cut
just
your
didn't
hair.
let her finish the sentence. You
Yeah.
could have said, I want to
Shave
cut
your
your
chest hair.
hair.
No, I disagree. But anyway. Anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna. Here's a pressing question. Wait, should I do the first one, the one I suggested yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I want to know, considering how often this happens and how people are just very shameless about it, particularly in our student environment, right? Is adultery such a bad thing, or
No,
is
no.
dating a married person such a bad thing?
Both.
Explain.
I don't want to look at the adultery component because
Like,
I feel
there's
like
no Bible.
the Bible
There's no
kind of
Bible.
trumps everything we could possibly say in that regard. Like we're talking about dating a married person.
Now, this depends on the married person. What is the agreement with the spouse? Are they allowed to see people outside the relationship? If they are in a single, committed, just the two of us relationship, then that person is breaking a vow.
Okay.
And breaking a promise is always wrong.
But I feel like that you married this person means that this is a committed relationship somewhat. But let's say in a situation where something went wrong.
No, but what if the husband and wife agree that, okay, we can see people outside the relationship under these terms? Then that happens to be one of the terms. So you guys can freely date or whatever. It's just maybe they can't take you to the holiday home because the holiday home is sacred or whatever. Type situation.
The waterbed situation.
Yeah, you see? And then, but it all depends on the agreement between the husband and the wife.
Yeah.
People have taken marriage and made it something which it's not. What marriage is me and you, we got together and we decide, okay, we're going to make our relationship legally binding. The relationship stipulates that we must do A, B, and C, and you must do A, B, and C, and I must do A, B, and C, and this is a legal document, an agreement that we have together. That's marriage. Love, passion, romance, adultery, cheating, all of those things are encompassed in the agreement based on what you guys agree on, right? So all those things don't really matter as much as the actual legal act of this is a contract.
Would you date a married woman?
Would I date a married woman? No, because of my own beliefs. I believe don't do something to someone you don't want done to you. One, I'm a jealous lover. Two, so I don't like sharing. So I wouldn't like it if my wife dated someone else. So I wouldn't date someone else's wife.
But now, with this whole marriage thing, you personally, do you want to get married, or do you want a fat and sit situation forever?
I want to find someone who I can live with, so I don't have to die alone. If this person says, for us to do this, if I find a person like that and they say, for us to do this, we must sign a contract and go to court, I'll do it. We must go to our family's pay level, I'll do it. They say, no, we're not doing that, we're fat and setting, I'll do it. I just want that person
You
to
want
be
the
there.
person.
That I don't care about what the situation is, as long as my own wants are met. Single committed relationship, just me and you. The legal aspect of it is fine. We'll deal with it later. We don't have to sign anything. We don't have to, as long as we both agree and we stick to the agreement. That's all I care about.
Would you date a married woman?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not
If
interested in knowing. I mean, first of all, I know it's a smaller degree, but it's like being with a girl that has a boyfriend and you are aware of it. To me, it's mostly annoying. I'm really not interested. So if you're a married woman, I'm thinking half the time you're thinking, oh shit, my husband is doing something else and I need to go cook for him and things like that. I'd want like 100% attention and not think about something else. If you are married and I'm not aware, it's fine. You can just keep it a secret. If I find out, I won't freak out. I'll be like, oh no, it's cool. Go back to him and then I'm out. That's just me.
okay. Would you allow your husband?
Wait.
Are you still processing what I just
You
said?
said you wouldn't date a married person, but if they were and you didn't know you'd like them to keep the secret.
They shouldn't tell me. And if I do find out, it ends. It's not like I'm gonna be like, no, I don't care.
So it's
I still wanna be with
This
you.
is what we're talking about is consciously walking into a relationship with someone who's married.
Yes.
We're not talking about
Who
unknown
probably
side chick
has
vibes,
to do
you know?
this and then say I'm going to see Paul and then take off the ring that is, and then I'm okay.
Would you?
I can't because I'm afraid of girls. And when they get married, it's like, they're crazy on steroids. They become very creative in ways to eliminate threats. And I'm not about to put my life in danger. Yeah.
I know a guy who says he won't come to your funeral if you die because you were caught cheating with someone.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. It's like Trevor Noah's family not coming to your funeral because you were killed surfing. What are you doing?
It's
in this?
undignified.
It's undignified. How are you gonna die like that?
Would you?
Would I? No.
You don't think you would or you wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
Okay. I think I would.
I wouldn't, because the idea of sharing bothers me. And more so because there's a family involved. Maybe he has kids with his wife, There are children here involved. I'm not really comfortable with that idea. I don't like, like how you said he doesn't like sharing. I don't like sharing. That you have to divide my time now with you between myself, your family. It bothers me a little bit. And I'm wrecking a family, dog. Like, I wouldn't want, like, some girl to come to my dad and be that girl to my dad. It's weird. It feels odd-ish, that such a thing would happen.
The thing about also being married, dating a married person is that you never win. You'll always be the one left alone at the end of the night, and you will never get to be married to them, even if you feel like they're the one or whatever. The thing is, when you date a married person, that person has married their partner for a reason, and even if they do funny things on the side, that person will always reign supreme. They are the ultimate. You just will never win in this relationship unless it's temporary on your side as well.
Do you want to get married, or do you want a root situation?
I want to get married,
Like,
one person forever and ever.
No,
But
you don't want to be in a fat and sit situation. You want
no, I don't want other people.
rings. You want rings.
The works.
Okay. Do you want a wedding or do you want a marriage?
Both.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Like the whole traditional, you have to start as a celebration. It needs to continue as a celebration throughout our lives. I'm a girl. I've thought about this day ever since. We've designed the dress multiple times. It's, as a girl, that day is very important. It's a signature. It's a sharp. I'm going in.
Okay. All right. I don't agree, but okay.
Why?
Like, I feel like okay, I can understand you wanting a marriage, but you wanting a wedding.
What's wrong with the wedding?
I feel like it's an unnecessary party.
How will you know? How will we know that you're married?
It's not about you people. It's about me and the person I'm in a
The
relationship
thing
with.
is, I'm a very religious person.
Okay.
By me being married to you, we need to stand in front of God and my family and your family.
Why can't we do that in court?
Yeah.
There's no God.
In court.
Okay. Why can't you do it in church?
There's no central. In court, there's other gods that I'm not.
Why can't you do it in church?
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but get married at a church. You make your
Like
bride.
court
Mwah.
situations,
Go
but
home.
at
It's
church.
a celebration.
You think of it as a celebration.
After that,
There must be a
it's
group
something
thing.
to celebrate. I mean, out of all the dudes, this is the guy,
You are
right?
King Bay.
This is the guy. I mean, he has to be special for me to feel like this is the one. I'm actually gonna do this forever with you only. It's a big thing. And you don't. The thing about marriage is when you marry someone, you don't just marry them. You're marrying everything they come with, whoever they come with, family and stuff. So it's not about you and him only. You can tell that to yourself. The love is between you two, but it's not about you only. Your mother-in-law is gonna walk into your house, whether you like it or not, anytime.
Unless if you guys change continents.
Unless you do that. But I mean, if she falls sick, if my husband's mother falls sick, I can't turn a blind eye and be like, he'll deal with it. If he's unable to do it, it's my responsibility then to also try and do something. Because now I've married into that family. But the one time we'll all be in one place, in one room, is on that wedding day. Because on weddings, that's when you get to see cousins you haven't seen ever or you haven't seen in a while. That's the one time people gather and they actually recognize that, okay, sharp, there's a new addition to this family and stuff like that. That's just how I see it. Okay. It's not about the alcohol. It can be alcohol free. We can just, but it's that one day where we all sit and we work. My family welcomes his family and him, and my family and his family welcomes me and my family.
Question. In today's modern society, coming as far as we have as human beings, do we still need this community, this family, this notion that we have?
I need you to clarify.
Is it necessary? I feel like it's outdated.
But
Look,
to have
it was
family-
great when there were 2,000 people in Africa and you were related to 4 of them and you guys decided we're sticking together no matter what. And when you bump into the others, you're like, okay, we protect each other, but we don't hate you, so we're going to form a tribe. And then we're going to protect each other from the animals and stuff, right? Now there's no threat from animals. And
Whatever.
you live in a big city and you're going to meet so many millions of people who are not your family. So is it that if I meet someone who is not related to me by blood, who is better to me in terms of looking after me, loyalty, and my safety and my sanity, can't I just ditch the person who's bringing me pain and trouble and go with the person who is not blood related to me but isn't causing me pain and trouble?
Because families, I don't know if you guys have realized, but families are very judgmental. The people who are supposed to have your back through thick and thin and shit, they are very judgmental. You can't tell them, like if I had HIV or whatever, I couldn't be like, sorry, Rahadi, I have a situation. I'd have to be there with like a friend, like Morasa, because I know there will be bashing from that. Like, why were you hoeing? Why are you doing this to us? It's gonna be about them.
Every
now.
single thing you do is about us, and it's not. It's my life is about me. You are a part of my life. When you hurt, I hurt. It should be that way, but it's not. It's when I hurt, it embarrasses the family, so go hurt somewhere else, and that's terrible. Or it's okay, you can't talk to that person because I don't want to talk to that person, even though that person helped you go through varsity, and I just took all your money. And that's the reason why you couldn't go to varsity.
In first year, while I was studying geology, a family that the elders in my family doesn't like, one of the kids had studied geology. So she had past papers and everything. So I went to go fetch past papers and they're like, why are you going there? Can't you get them somewhere else? Like, why should I go get them somewhere else if they're over there? They're just over there. I can go fetch them. I don't need to get them digitally or whatever. They're over there.
And
they couldn't explain it to me.
And the same people will tell you, no, family is everything. Right? But not that family, this family. So it's the concept of family, it's very noble, right? But it's like everything else in human society which is noble. We don't practice it correctly. We don't practice it in its noble form. We practice it very cynically because we're very cynical people. We like, it's like democracy. The concept of democracy is very noble. But now there's political groups that split districts in a different way, just so that they can alter the results of the votes. You know, there's so many things you can do to cheat the system, and that's what the system has become. It's noble, but it doesn't work. It's just the same with family. It's noble to think, okay, this is my blood, right? We're very related, we're close, right? But let's be honest, all human beings related, extended but related, right? Same core group, we are all the same, and therefore everybody's technically related. That shouldn't mean more the way you actually treat me. You know? I'm just saying. That's my 2 cents.
Well, the thing is, I'm pro family and values and all of that, because pre-high school and everything, it didn't matter. Varsity, the experience that came with it, made me see what this is actually all about. And what you can know is that religiously they will tell you honor thy parents. They don't exactly say like them, just honor them. And in my experience as a kid, it feels a lot better. And you will go through times where you're like, the George is bringing me down, and you don't believe in me and my hopes and dreams. I'm trying to fly, and you're like, no man, these wings are not right. Use those other ones that your cousin used. Why can't you be like your cousin, your cousin, your cousin, your cousin?
Your brother, your sister.
That. So
no, the honor thing is nice, right?
Yeah.
But okay, gonna try to use the Bible to argue against you, but I can't. Honor your mother and father is a great idea, like I said, right?
Yeah.
But are you really gonna honor someone who's not honorable? Is that what the Bible is expecting from you? If your parents are not honorable, should you honor them still?
Yes.
If your parents do not respect you, should you respect them still?
I feel like it helps.
It helps.
How?
Because it builds character. Then you grow up and you think, oh, cool. Like I've had my fair share.
So I can be an asshole to somebody, but they mustn't be an asshole to me.
No, that's not how.
No, that's not what we're talking.
It's not what you take away from that.
Okay, please give me what
Your
you
father
took away.
is not on. I'm not saying in real life, but I'm saying, for example, your parents are not honorable people, in your opinion.
Okay.
But by honoring them anyway, because they gave life to you, you have built a character where you can recognize now in an environment outside of that scenario, where you guys an honorable person which you will honor, and a person that's not honorable and you will not honor them because they're not honorable.
And understand that when you retaliate negative,
I'm not saying
emotion,
retaliate. I'm just saying, why honor someone who is unhonorable? Why respect someone who does not respect you? Respect is 2 ways. If you don't respect me, I can't respect you. It's hard. Even if I try to respect you, as a person, I will be looking at you and saying, I don't respect you. I'll pretend to respect you, which is much worse than disrespecting someone.
My question then is, what do you gain then from all of this?
What are you supposed to gain from family?
Missing me with the bullshit. Like, go
No,
away.
these people created you. They have already, they have gained something by doing that, right? That's good enough reason to be honored. But now, if you don't honor them, what you've done is now you've created this whole character that you want to test everyone, and everyone must prove to you that they're honorable. Then you now waste a lot of time going around trying to see if people are actually honorable or not, or if you should respect them or not. Then it becomes more about you instead of other people. But if you now just humble yourself and just, you know what, these are my parents, it's fine. Whether they treat me good or bad, it's I'm going to respect them and I'm going to do this and this. Because it took me a while to understand this, but there is no book that really explains parenting or gives guidelines of what you're going to go through or whatever. These people don't actually know what they're doing, right? And yes, there are parents who give up on their children and who tap out and they can't handle the stress, which they have failed as parents. But the fact that they took the time to plan a family to begin with, and they gave you life, and they gave you food and all these other basic things, and have brought you up to a point where you can start deciding for yourself and recognizing for yourself that these people are not right people, or these are good, these are bad people.
Let me pose you a question to you, right? A kid is born to a drug abuser. This person lives on the street, very much into the drugs. The kid is born, first reaction is wrap him up, put him on the doorstep of a church. The kid is adopted, has great loving parents who care for them. They did not create this child, they adopted this child, right? This child grows up respecting and honoring these people, right? If the mother now comes back into the life of this child and says, hey, I ditched you, I didn't want anything to do with you, I wanted absolutely nothing to do with you, but now come back and respect me. How do you expect a person to?
It would be hard. We're not saying that it's going to happen automatically. It would be hard,
but this person must
I
still
don't
honor this.
see-
Now understand, right? In this instance, this human being who gave birth to this person is a stranger, a complete stranger. They don't know anything about this person. They had very little influence except bringing them into the world in the shape of this person's life. They effectively told themselves, I am not a part of your life. And now when it's convenient for them, you're a grown up, you're a successful business person, you're fine, right? Or whatever. They want to be now a part of your life, and they want that honor, they want that respect for themselves. That is a very selfish thing to do. Do you still expect a person who is in that situation to respect and honor that person just because they created them?
Yes. Do you know why?
Why?
Do you know why? Listen.
And in this case, I
Wait.
disagree with you because the
Listen.
Bible says honor your mother and your
But I
father.
haven't said anything.
But that person
Wait,
isn't your
But
mother.
I haven't said anything. You can't say you disagree before
Speak.
I explain. That child, whether they have very supportive adoptive parents or not,
Mhm.
have you ever wondered why they always have this void within where, even though I don't know my mother, I still want to have my mother somehow known to me?
I've always wondered.
That you are respecting the relationship that's between you, even if it's just the process of her delivering. But there is something between a mother and her child that cannot be replaced by anyone. Do you understand? That person coming back into your life is not going, they will not have the guts, number one, to say, my child, kneel down and respect me because I am your mother regardless of what I did to you. They never have the guts. But her efforts to come back to her child, that bond that they share, which is you cannot shake regardless of what you go through in life. Even fathers, children who are born and their fathers give up on them or they pass away, those children always carry a void. And that relationship is what you're trying to respect and honor, not necessarily the person if they have failed. So when she comes back, you forgive her, or you choose not to forgive her. But you are respecting the relationship between you. It's not necessarily her.
I disagree because I feel like, okay, I understand what you're saying. There's a bond, right? There's a bond, and yeah, this person that acts, that physical act, and that father thing, right? But a lot of it is not natural. It's not like you have the urge to eat, right? And regardless of what happens in your life, if you're alive and you're healthy, your body wants nourishment, right? Your body does not have that same urge, or it's not on the same level to know your biological parents. This was created by society. Society places a lot of importance on biological parents because it helps us as social beings to establish clear social relationships, social hierarchies. It helps keep order, it helps to keep things going, right? It's important for you to understand biologically who you're related to. Why? So that you don't have incestuous relationships, right? Because that's bad for the species, right? It damages the species. So in your natural state, you are naturally repulsed by the notion of procreating with someone who is too similar to you in the gene pool, right? That's natural. That is the only natural thing that I can accept in that argument. Everything else about that argument is almost completely it's socially created. It's created by human beings to create or to develop like a status quo. Like for example, the whole the idea that, you know, okay, let me give you an example with the marriage. Let's go back to marriage. The idea of marrying for love. How old do you think that idea is? How long do you think it's been a common practice? I love you. All we have is love. You're a lowly security guard. I'm a high lawyer. Doesn't matter where your family's from. We're marrying because we love each other and we're passionate. How old do you think that is? When do you think that really became popular? Guess.
Not that long ago.
It's not that long ago.
You know why? And human beings have been living. You know why? Because it's a new social idea. Before, people married for, it's new. Well, 100 years is not old. 150 years is not old. And that's just about how old it is.
I think your question. Okay,
Right.
no, there's a difference.
And
with
that's
how long-
because of the
listen,
social norm.
Listen,
You know?
there's a difference between how long it's been practiced and
How
how long
long?
it's been known.
It's been known. It's been known.
Marriage
But
was created for this, for the union of people that love each other.
Mm-mm.
It was,
Mm-mm.
and but that's we differ. That's some. That's
yes, you see, now you have to
based on
define
it's-
love. You have to define. But that's not my point. My point is, right, every single practice we have, every single feeling, every single way of observation of the world, right, the way you interpret the data that you're receiving from your senses is controlled and determined mostly by what you've been taught, right? You were taught that boys do this and girls do that.
Girls like pink and boys like blue.
Yes, consciously, subconsciously, from you or from your teacher, this was taught to you. And because of that, you know that as the norm. Now, we've been taught in society that your biological mother and your biological father determine everything about you because genetics, right? And because of that, we've placed this great importance on knowing and understanding who my biological mother is, who my biological father is, right? We've never really lived in a world where that didn't matter. So we can't fathom that. You know, you can't fathom. I mean, what a human being really needs, and they've done the science of this, is when you're growing up, care and affection, right? If you're cared for, loved, right, you get someone who holds you enough, touches you enough. It stimulates the correct development in your brain. It doesn't matter if this person is related to you or if they're the strangest of strangers, right? If this person shows you that affection, you will show them that affection back. The bond between a mother and a child is not you came out of me, therefore we have this bond. This bond is built. It's just the oldest relationship you know. It was the first relationship you knew, right? That is why it is so important to you. That's why you can't fathom having it with someone else because you've only ever had it with one person. But here's the fact of the matter, right? If you were forced to have that bond with someone who was not your mother from birth, which is why they tell you that a certain number of kids get switched at birth and they never ever find out, ever, in their life. And those kids don't grow up to be screwed up. They don't have this weird longing for a parent they don't know. They don't. Most of them don't report this. Right?
And those that do.
And those that
they
do,
testify
it's
about
anecdotal.
that.
It's anecdotal. There's no concrete evidence. They'll tell you this story because now I found out that I'm adopted, so I'm supposed to feel this way. And they do, right? It's kind of like if you lived in a world where black people were never oppressed, ever, and you came to this world, you would be freaked out. You'd be like, what? Why? What? Why? It wouldn't make sense. Now you live in a world where biological relationships are placed on such a pedestal with such
Can I
a
ask you guys a question?
yes.
I disagree with you 100%.
In the world we live in now, do you guys think that being book smart is enough? Paul?
Being book smart.
Yes.
No. I mean, book smart, you literally mean academics,
Yes.
A to Z,
Yeah.
0 to 9. That's
Yeah.
just you. No, because you're not just functioning in a library or in a classroom. You have to go out into the real world.
Wow. Let me add like an appendix. Book smart, and let's say you look like a toe, but you're brilliant. You can function in society,
Yeah.
but you look like a toe.
Mm.
But you're brilliant.
What? Say that again.
You are butt ugly, but you're brilliant. Is that enough? Is the brilliance enough?
Wait, does your brilliance cover only things that you can learn academically, or do we include
Yes.
street smarts as well?
that's what we want to
Are,
unpack.
are you trying to say looks versus intelligence, or
And the in between, yeah.
certain types of
And the
intelligence?
gray areas, everything, all of that. Because the reason why this question is posed is we found ourselves associating with people who are academically
Inclined.
inclined, people who can study, people who know things. But then when you try to have in-depth conversations like this, it seems a little too deep for them because they feel like, I don't know much about this, so I can't really talk about it. Even simple topics like, politics, well, not simple, but like,
Okay.
if you have a simple topic like, the whole fees must fall thing, the whole concept behind that,
Yeah.
it might be a little too deep for this person. This person cannot engage with others on topics like this because they feel like it's just a little too much. So what we want to know is, as a person, do you think that just being able to study, just being able to learn and whatever, is that enough?
No.
Is it important for us to be book smart, street smart, whatever smart,
And look
and
according to
and look
society.
good?
Look nice, Nian.
What-
Do looks matter?
I mean, if
Yeah, let's say you're looking for a girl.
For
let's
Yeah, and
Not even.
she is.
That's
she,
too simple. That's a definite yes. Let's try something else, like a
Yes.
job. You're hiring someone for a job.
if you have to now function and be a part of a realistic society, which is what we're in right now, and not an idealistic society, your looks wouldn't matter, how you dressed and all of that wouldn't matter. Now, if you're told that in order to get this job, you need to dress, they tell you dress code formal,
Sure.
and you think you're gonna come there with sneakers and jeans because you're smart, you have the knowledge that they want ultimately, and you think you're gonna get the job, you won't get it. Because this is not a movie. This is not that part where Mike Ross comes in and then, he makes an accidental pitch and then he gets the job. That's not gonna happen. I've never seen that. I'd like to witness it. So in order to be what they call an all-rounded person, on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there's social something there. I don't know how to put it. That thing is important because if you don't interact with other humans, who are you interacting with? How are you going to be part of a society? How are you going to contribute to that society if you don't engage with the people around you? That's just it. You can't just know the book and then the book alone. You need to actually live through some of these things. You need to know how to, call for a cab or, get a hotel ticket and then actually create a CV that makes sense. Yeah.
Let's be honest, looks matter. Anybody who tells you looks don't matter is lying.
Yeah.
Can I just say,
Through their teeth.
I've met some girl, she isn't the prettiest girl in the world. Actually, with the first day I met her, I wouldn't have recognized her if I'd seen her 20 minutes later.
So she didn't
Not
register.
important. She didn't register at all.
Mhm.
But then, when I got there, she was sitting with a friend of mine, his friend, and the girl. So I came, sat down. I wasn't even speaking during that whole conversation, but the way she spoke, I got attracted to her mind before I was attracted to her. So for me, in that individual case, looks didn't matter.
They did. They mattered, but something mattered more. That's the thing. People think looks don't matter means I can look at anything and like it just because of the way it is and not because of the way it looks. And the fact of the matter is, looks matter. Look, if you met the best person in the world, like this person and you match, personality, intellect, everything, you can have the best conversations on the phone because you can't stand to look at their face. You won't have a relationship with this person. It won't happen because they revolt you. Let's be honest. And you're not a terrible person for admitting that you don't find certain people or things attractive. Things are beautiful, things are ugly. That is the way of the world. Some people are beautiful to you and some people are ugly to you. They're not ugly people, they're ugly to you. And it's fine. You don't have to like everyone, just like not everyone is gonna like you. Right? And looks are important. We see the human eye can differentiate how many shades of green, I don't even know, because that's how we survive. We survive through sight. We look at things, find the differences, and that's how you live. In the wild, sometimes the difference between 2 shades of red on a berry is the difference between having nice times and dying.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very important that we understand this about ourselves. You look at something, if it appeases you, it appeases you. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and you will react accordingly. Do not lie to yourself and tell yourself looks don't matter. They do. The question is, are you going to go above your primal instinct to base everything on looks and go above it and then become, how people would say, deeper and not shallow? Or are you going to follow it to the letter? Or are you going to ignore it? Either way, looks are influencing your behavior, right? There are people who are like hippies and free love bunnies. No, looks don't matter. I'll talk to anyone. Fine. But don't say looks don't matter. They do matter. Looks matter. You thought about it. I will talk to you regardless of how you look. Regardless of how you look still means that looks were considered. They were just ignored. Right? Looks matter. That's the
cold hard.
That's the cold hard truth.
Question.
Yes.
I agree.
Would you date? I'm not saying I disagree. Would you date this person that looks like a toe if they were 10 out of 99 out of 99 for you?
Except they look like a toe. If I don't like the way you look, regardless of whether the way you look is considered beautiful or not by the general populace, I've met girls who, you know, Instagram 10,000 likes a picture. They could post a picture of their sandwich and they get 10,000 likes because of the booty shots they took.
And the yellow boneness with
and
the
yellow
makeup.
And I've seen them and I've looked at them and I'm like, I don't care if you're fucking Einstein. I don't like the way you look. It doesn't attract me. So, no. And I kept moving on, right? And I've seen girls who most guys were like, nah. And I was like, huh, that's kind of interesting. Because at that moment, I saw something and it was looked and it appealed to me and it mattered. It didn't appeal to everybody else, but it mattered. And I saw something else and it appealed to everybody else, but it didn't appeal to me. And it mattered. That's how I made my decision. Looks matter for that reason. That's why I'm saying looks matter. And I wouldn't date someone who, if I looked at them and I was like, do I like this? And the answer is no. Then I can't date you. It's not fair to you, it's not fair to me.
You know, I agree with you on the looks mattering part, and a lot of the times we don't want to seem like assholes for saying that looks actually do matter, because they do.
Have you ever thought about the things that we considered assholes for? We're considered an asshole if you are completely honest. People want to be lied to. You have to pretend.
Better.
You have to pretend to be humble. You have to pretend to be nice. You have to pretend to care and love people. No, stop it. Be an asshole. Be honest.
And ultimately in life, you want someone you can sit to your companion and say, "Look at those ugly people."
That's what you need in life.
And the
You
person
can
will,
maybe
I know,
feel like
the
that's
person
an
will be like,
ugly
right? I really think they're ugly too.
You need
Oh my God,
honesty.
that's
bro.
why I'm in love with you. Because
Honesty.
we think the same.
And we're gonna be honest to each other. We're not gonna lie to anybody.
While
That's
we're
what
there,
we think.
while we're there, how do you tell somebody they have an ugly day?
I don't think you can.
You just go.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should.
What's its
I don't
name?
know. I don't think you should.
Why do you have to comment on the looks of the baby?
Yeah.
If they say, isn't she cute? No, you say,
No,
you say no.
Huh. Why did you ask? She isn't cute. You wanted an answer. You asked the question, which means that there's 2 possibilities or 3 possibilities, however many possibilities, and I picked one. That's not the one you like, and I knew the one you liked. I wasn't going to give you the right answer. I was going to give you the truth.
If you're going to say you're going to be honest and say people are ugly, keep it to yourself. No one needs to know.
Exactly.
Mm.
Don't.
Like, once you start going around reminding people that they're not the most perfect
Yeah.
looking people, according to you, by the way,
Mm.
because, I mean, there's a lot of people who would find it goes even to race and the hair, the color of your hair, the length of your hair, the whatever. If my nose is too big for you, but for my man, it's proper. According to you, I'm ugly, but according to him, I'm probably the most prettiest girl in the world.
That's the
So,
thing.
if you think I'm ugly, please keep it to yourself and say, that's an ugly person. Okay, moving on. Don't come to me and say, you know what, Nikita, you're so ugly. Like, okay, so what am I supposed to do with that information?
So if you ask, it's fine for me to tell you. But if you don't ask, I mustn't remind
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Because if I'm really ugly, I would have by now, after 21 years, figured it out that I don't really look like Beyonce.
Come to your senses at some point.
I think the line should be drawn between honesty and cruelty. Yes, because people claim that if they're brutally honest, they must be worshipped. Nah, Nah. If, for instance, you are brutally honest, keep it to yourself if you're not asked. If I rock up here with whatever looks that I have, don't go telling your friends how ugly I look. Keep your honesty to yourself, because it's more of a, we call you butts because what you're saying is not being asked.
Just to translate, butt means ass.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, let's say for instance a girl walks by, right, and guys are sitting there and they're laughing and they're talking about how she's not all this and all that. We call that being an ass because your honesty is not required because it was not asked. Do you get it?
But
So
they didn't say it to her. They said it among themselves.
no, but that's the thing. Don't keep your honesty to yourself because it hurts other people's feelings, and that's what makes people feel very insecure.
But when I'm talking amongst my friends, I'm not really talking out loud. I'm not saying, "Oh my God, friend, look at her face." No, I mean, even I would know that I'm an asshole for saying that, for doing that. That's just unacceptable. I feel like even my friends would look at me and be like, "What? You could have just said that
But is
and
it
been quiet."
necessary?
But people do.
Is it necessary?
It's not necessary, but people do it.
But the thing
But
is,
then-
here's the thing, right? The thing that we're really against, and or that I'm really against, is this notion of now me as an individual sitting alone in my thoughts must find something nice or find something not nice, and then act according to what society deems I should act. If I see her now all the time, I must give her positive feedback, even though the truth is it's not positive.
Sure.
You know this thing of, oh, you have a cute baby, but I can't go and say, oh, you have an ugly baby. You know, why? Why can I say the good thing even though it's not true, but I can't say the bad thing even when it is true?
Why don't you say?
The idea of if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I agree with that. I'm just going to keep quiet. Don't ask me if you look good. Don't ask me if you look bad. I'm just not going to tell you.
Why don't you mention one thing that looks good there?
No.
It goes back to the question of when a girl is like, baby, does this make my ass look fat?
Oh.
If it does, how do you expect him to lie to you? You asking that question, you've already told yourself, whether this thing makes my ass look fat. I'm just looking for confirmation from him. And because we beg and we plead for honesty, in relationships, right? We expect him to be honest when we ask such questions. But then we get hurt when he says, but baby, I feel like it's not doing your body any justice.
Okay, I hope I'm not moving away from the topic, but do you guys ever ask if my penis looks big?
Yes.
As much as we ask, do we
No.
look good in whatever jeans? Do you
Because
ever ask
our
about that?
penises don't show when we wear jeans.
Yes.
No,
Exactly,
apart
so
from
I
whatever you're wearing, as in, do you ever ask your partner how that part of your body looks because you also want confirmation? Because it just seems like now when women ask for confirmation, it's more of a kind of thing. But do you guys ever ask for confirmation regarding the package?
I don't think I have.
I think that in
Nah,
itself
different
is a
psychology.
dangerous question to
You'll tell
ask.
me.
You're
Yeah,
asking for
You'll find
criticism.
ways to
Because
Oh
a
my
girl
God.
could essentially look at you
Find
and say,
ways.
no, baby, it's fine. Like, it's okay.
So they would be my question. Would you be okay with her being honest, going, baby, it's in here?
If I ever ask.
Would you be okay with the honesty? Like,
Then what has people
If you ask someone, what is your opinion on this? I want your opinion on this. I don't want some half truth. Okay, time's running out. We need to stop recording. We need to wrap this up. Final thoughts?
Don't ask me if my ass looks fat. Don't ask if your penis looks big.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
don't ask.
Don't date married people.
Don't date
It's
married
not
people.
right. It's not okay. Like, it's not fine.
I feel bad that I missed out on a lot.
Don't come late to things.
Yes, please. Like, when we say please come through, come through.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Look, if you can't spread love and peace, just keep quiet. Because 99% of the time, when a person leaves their house, they really think they look amazing. And if you think they look shitty, just keep quiet because they might just do something wrong, like suicide and stuff. So just positiveness is key.
Okay.
No, but like, do these jeans make my thighs look big?
Okay.
My closing thought: the world is ugly, unnecessary, cynical, and terrible, and so
Deal
are
with
you. Deal with it.
Or you can just choose Jesus.
Oh my God.
That's another